Families are built on trust. But what happens when that trust hides the darkest of secrets? The Williams family had always prided themselves on tradition. Every 5 years, they gathered at their ancestral home, a sprawling Victorian mansion deep in the woods. This year, it was Emily's first time attending. At 24, she'd grown up hearing tales about the house, but had never visited. She was excited, but something about the place unsettled her the moment she arrived. The house was imposing, with ivy crawling up its stone walls and windows that seemed more like watchful eyes. Inside, the atmosphere was cold, despite the warmth of her relatives. Emily couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. That night, as the family gathered around the grand dining table, the conversation turned to the history of the house. "Our family has lived here for generations," Aunt Clara said with a smile. "But every house has its secrets." Emily noticed her uncle shifting uncomfortably. Her cousins exchanged nervous glances, but no one elaborated. Later, as Emily explored the house, she stumbled upon a locked door at the end of a dim hallway. Curious, she tried the handle, but it wouldn't budge. Just as she turned to leave, her cousin Jacob appeared behind her. "You shouldn't go in there," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "Why not?" Emily asked. Jacob hesitated, then said, "That room is cursed." The word sent a chill down Emily's spine, but she couldn't let it go. That night, while everyone slept, she snuck back to the door with a hairpin and managed to unlock it. Inside, she found a small, dimly lit room with a single chair in the center. The walls were covered in old photographs of family members, except their eyes were scratched out. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind her. Emily turned to see her Uncle Victor standing there, his face pale and twisted in anger. "You shouldn't have come here," he hissed. Before she could react, Victor grabbed her arm and dragged her downstairs to the basement, where the rest of the family was gathered. They looked solemn, almost mournful. "This is why we don't invite outsiders," Victor said, glaring at Emily. Emily struggled, demanding answers. That's when Aunt Clara spoke. "Every 5 years we gather to keep the family safe, but the house demands a sacrifice." Emily froze as she realized what they meant. She was the outsider. She was the sacrifice. Before she could scream, the lights flickered, and a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. It wasn't human. It was something ancient, with glowing red eyes and claw-like hands. The family backed away, leaving Emily alone with the creature. Her screams echoed through the house as the creature dragged her into the shadows. When the lights returned, Emily was gone. The family quietly returned to the dining room, their expressions grim but resigned. "We do what we must," Aunt Clara said, raising her glass, "to protect the bloodline. Thank you for joining us for The Shadows We Keep. If you enjoyed this chilling tale, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that will keep you up at night.